Welcome back, guys. Let's go right to it. Immediately run into champ packs and the wonderful world of beetles. So yeah, people were saying they were having troubles with the beetles. I assume they were talking in general. There's the two main places you fight them are out here in the open desert and in the maggot lair. I personally find, depending on your class, honestly, or probably with most classes, they're actually easier to kill in the maggot lair, because while you are trapped in a tunnel that's very tight, they are as well, and their main shtick is to release lightning in big AoEs like that. So I find that you can just stick to doorways or corners or just general tunnels, and you can avoid a lot of the lightning bolts when you're in the actual maggot lair. Of course, I'll say this and then I'll end up dying in the maggot lair, I'm sure. But yeah, I find it's usually not that big a deal. Out in the open, I kind of have the get out of jail free card here because I'm a summoning Necromancer, and the bolts don't fly through people. If it hits someone, they'll absorb the shots. So I kind of get to just hide behind people. Like, see, if I stand here, it'll never get through my summons to get to me. So if you don't have summons like this character, the alternative is to hide behind your mercenary. He usually does, even if you just give him like a white weapon, he usually does quite well. He'll either 2 or 3 shot them, and sometimes he'll even do a jab attack. So he'll hit them all in quick succession and kill them, so they'll only release like once or twice. So he, as someone who has scaling resistances, is actually really good against them because he has a decent health pool. He has what? 180 health? He has more health than I do. He has more lightning resist than I do. He does way more physical damage than I do. So honestly, I would say the solution is just pick up an Act 2 mercenary because he does great against them. And then there's the ideas like positioning. If you watch them getting hit, they always release in a set pattern. Essentially, if you look at their character model as a box, they fire off in diagonals. So if you're standing directly facing them, directly to their sides, or directly behind them, you actually won't get hit by the burst. Again, that's kind of hard to do on the fly, like, because they're not always going to be facing the same direction and whatnot, but it's something to keep in mind. What else? If you can't do the positioning thing, you can't hide behind stuff, like hide behind walls or whatever, just distance is honestly the best thing. Especially as a Necromancer, there's no reason I need to be up next to them. Like, there's no real benefit. So I should just be standing way the hell back, and if the bolts start flying, just walk away, just run away. Stacking lightning resistance and having a ton of health is kind of hard to say that you should have by normal Act 2. Like, you're not, unless you're a twin character with it, which if you're a twin character, you have no problem skilling these things. So that's not really a good suggestion until like Nightmare or Hell Act 2, then sure, you can say you better have resistances. But as it stands, I say positioning, distance, having a good mercenary, or just any mercenary. The Act 2 mercenary, like I said, honestly, he can carry you through most of the game, not just Act 2 against the beetles. If you take care of him and give him good gear, he can actually help out significantly. As far as specific things I should be doing as a Necromancer, I mean, if I give him amp damage, which I should be doing anyways, I can limit the amount of times they'll burst lightning, because they take damage like lightning enchanted guys. Whenever they take damage, they shoot out lightning. So if you limit how many times they take lightning, or group them together, group the shots together, because I think there is like a cooldown period, then you shouldn't have any problems. So, just a bit of rambling. I'm sure not everyone needed to hear that, but for those who do have problems with the lightning beetles, which I think I've said in almost all my playthroughs, they are one of the ways to die in the normal hardcore. If you just don't play around them well, you can get bursted. I haven't really been taking damage to them, but that's because I'm sitting pretty behind all my summons. So, you know, the more I'm playing this, the more I'm thinking I should have started with a Necromancer. It's way easier for me to talk here because I don't have to do anything. But yeah, as you can see, the bolts can't go through my minions, so easy life for me. Clay Golem died. For the record, you can check the health of your minions by hovering over unsummon, so you can see their health. They regen health pretty quickly, so resummoning skeletons for, especially with my guy having prayer, but resummoning skeletons for the sake of refilling their health isn't super necessary. But it's something to keep in mind if you're really, really antsy about micromanaging. The option is there for you. I do not know when the next level is that I can get 6 skeletons instead of 5. But I am going to keep leveling it. I'm pretty sure there's like an optimal thread the needle alternating back and forth here about which, because like this gives flat bonuses to skeletons. Like see, it gives 8 life, 2 damage, 16 life, 4 damage. While this one, I'm pretty sure damage, and it gives damage in a percentage, and I can't remember if it's life, attack, and defense also go up by a percentage or flat numbers, but either way, there's a bit of a trade-off there. I know that in the grand scheme of things, it's better to have 20 in Raised Skeleton, 1 in Skeleton Mastery than 20 in Skeleton Mastery, 1 in Raised Skeleton, obviously, because then you only have 1 skeleton, but I'm sure there's a bit of a give and take. I'm just going to keep pumping skeleton Raised Skeleton probably, until I can't any longer. It should take up most of this whole playthrough, so expect many points to be put in skeletons. They'll be very enthralling. So it looks like the way to the Dry Hills is going to be just to the left of town. But oh well. I don't mind scouring the desert a bit. Or I guess I scour the desert and then let everyone else kill everything. There's the Halls of the Dead immediately. The waypoint was right next to it, that'd be nice too. I am going to remember the tactic I always keep saying to do and then never actually end up doing, which is leave. If you're looking for the waypoint, you should leave the TP wherever you're gonna go next, because you have a free teleport by going to the waypoint. So, can do a bit of that. It looks like there's a ledge here, so I'm going to assume the waypoint's gonna be down here. Although maybe that is folly. So as you can see, until I need to start Corpse Explosion, which I could probably be doing at least to some degree to be helpful. Oh god, this guy's sliding all over the place. I don't really need to cast very much. Like, I resummon my guys when they die, but that's about it. So, not super mana intensive. It's once you need to start Corpse Exploding where this build gets very mana intensive, and like, as you can see, I have 63 mana. I can Corpse Explode 4 times. So, don't really need to do it right now. I think most people recommend you first skill into Corpse Explosion once you hit the Maggot Lair or Arcane Sanctuary. Both are zones where the mobs are very condensed, unlike these open desert areas. So that would be like an ideal time to go fetch it. But until then, you probably can safely not put points into it, which I'm droning on and on about, but just saying that I wouldn't. This is not the type of build where, like, when I was doing my paladin, for example, I was really holding on to points a lot. I was essentially just not skilling abilities to hold on to like 3-4 points at a time to upgrade my abilities. That's because for paladins, the upgrade from like might to concentrate, or like getting holy shield, stuff like that, there's a lot of key level ups. Well, I don't think this build necessarily has one. Decrepify is nice for bosses, but you don't really need it until then, so you don't need all the build ups. So when in doubt, I would just stick to your bread and butter of have 1 point in Amplify, and then
Thanks.
And then just skeletons. You are a necromancer after all. So, like I said, the goal is to get... Jeez. Is he just gonna... He's not gonna stop being poisoned, is he? So we're what, level 16? So at 18, you don't really need anything. I'm not gonna bother getting blood golem. Wow, our merc is Jesus. He got super poisoned. So, yeah, I'm just gonna keep pumping Ray Skeleton, which I have +2 in right now because of my head and my wand, which is good. I want +2 either Ray Skeleton or Skeleton Mastery, probably, as far as +2 skills are concerned. I mean, obviously, all the skills or all the summoning or both, or all the necromancer skills, or blah blah blah. In Magical Christmas Land, those are great too. But unless I find some early rune words like what, rhyme or something, or spirit, I doubt those will be happening. So, Halls of the Dead, there is a waypoint at level 2? Yeah. So, I'll be going down there, which is right here. I could be dim visioning these hollow ones, but my skeletons don't seem to have any problems cutting through them, the skeletons, to get to them. So I probably could have saved myself a point there as well. Besides that, just put amplified damage on people and enjoy. Like I said, Corpse Explosion helps somewhat, but you don't need to freak out about it. These ethereal knives, yeah. Throw it down there for effect, although it really doesn't matter. But I can't stress enough how important amplified damage is, for the record. I don't know if anyone is playing a summoning necro and not using curses. I know I was kind of like that when I first started playing, but I mean, really, there's not a very strong excuse for why not to use amplified damage. It's the first curse on the list. Here's where I actually might need to Corpse Explode. But yeah, it's like the first curse on the list. You need to invest all of 1 point into it, and it doubles the damage people take. Like, that's insane. So if anyone was like me when they were, whatever, 10 or whenever I first started playing Diablo, just remember to use curses. Corpse Explosion you probably should use, but you don't need to use it right away, while Amplify Damage will help you probably throughout all of normal Nightmare in Hell. So that's the one thing you take away from this playthrough. Similar to always level Holy Shield during my Paladin playthrough. Or that, I don't know, what was the lesson from the Assassin playthrough? Probably that Fade is a good skill. Similar ideas. Holy Shield, Fade, Amplify Damage are all good skills. I should make sure I pick up mana potions as they come as well. So we found the waypoint. It looks like the way down is going to be this way then. As you can see, our guys aren't dying that often. How many mummies are around the corner? Holy shit. Our skeletons do fairly well against physical damage fights. Like they're better than these skeletons, so they do a pretty good job on that front. Oh, that would be why. Gonna dim vision them, but they're champ packs, so can't. But can amp them all. Get at them. Which they should be cut down in due time. What is our skeleton damage at? 9 to 10. Pretty good. Keep picking up these combat shrines. Make myself feel better about using the level 1 wand. Got a ton of skeletons here again. Which I could corpse explode, but as you see, my guys are doing just fine pushing their way through. I'm going to envision those guys so that they stop reviving. And there we go. We proved ourselves the superior Necromancer. And on we go. We haven't really needed to revive very many guys. Like I said, poison is probably the weakest elemental attack against a summoning necro, so I'm pretty sure our skeletons are as resistant as normal skeletons are to poison. We have our one. Ooh, that was a good earn. I'll refrain from saying I earned it. Oh. This is why you guys watch. Let's see what's there. 3 to dim vision, huh? Honestly, 6 to energy and a bunch of resistance is pretty good though. Is this limiting our... Is okay, so we'll hold on to it for now. I'll just put it in this alternate slot. We are not lucking out on charms, however. So maybe next level I'll switch to that one, just because then it's not dictating
I'll put that to good use.
how many skeletons I have. Until now, I'm gonna stick to my starter wand because +1 to skeletons, yo. Amulet. I think we have a decent amulet, right? It's like +2 mana. Well, we know which one to stick with in this case. So yeah, I'm sure we can contribute some of our skeleton survivability to our merc with his prayer aura, but I think it's just in general we have a high level skeletons, which as I've said a few times, could be even higher, but I'm just diversifying my skills where I don't really need to. Might need to run past them to get all my guys to join in. This probably is... is this the room? No. Kind of looked like it, but there is no chest inside. Give him a slap in the face. Ooh. Hey. Leather gloves, don't mind if I do. What is this? I don't remember what... is it Arctic? What's the... oh, Death's Hands. Okay. Well, we already kind of passed the main poison fight, but that was our first set item this playthrough. I think my assassin, it was Cisaris again. Same with the paladin. Something like that. I didn't even make the guess that Pokemon joke. Random gear dropping. Golem and Weaken. Not super relevant. It is double socketed, I guess. Half freeze duration. Yeah, if you want to build where you definitely can be active observer instead of participant, this would be a good start. Like I said, it does get more interactive later on with Corpse Explosion, but hey, sometimes it's just fun to watch your giant army kill everyone. I won't blame you. Everyone wants to be an evil overlord at least sometimes, right? Our mage finally died. I was wondering when that would happen. We are making pretty good levels as far as I remember. Besides that, we are kind of full exploring these areas. I'm just gonna run through the poison. I ain't got no time for poison. Our genius AI is ignoring the hollow one to focus on the sarcophagus. Well, it looks like the way over was just over here, or the chest. There's a super unique whose name I always forget, but it's the cat. What's your name? Blood Witch the Wild, is that it? I think everyone is cursed right now, including our guys. Spiked shield, Horadric cube. Okay. Don't really need anything here, so we can sell this. So, we are full up on our inventory. You have quite a treasure in that cube. Yep. And that'll do it for this one. We can, probably don't need this. Probably don't need Death's Hand. Trying to think if the rest of the death set is good, like, set-wise. I don't think so. Yeah, I can, I suppose, hold on to it for now, just in case. I'll probably go combine gems to save inventory space, but then in the next one, we will head on over to the maggot lair. So, I'll see you guys then. Take care.